For being here. We are, it is November 19th, 2025, 6 o'clock. We are starting our November board meeting for Central Park School for Children. It looks as though, great, we have a quorum, so we will call this meeting to order. All right, first on our agenda is to make sure that our minutes have been distributed before the meeting, and so I feel like everyone has had ample time to read over them. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If not, may I have a motion to accept these minutes?
So moved.
Great. A second, please. Okay, thank you, Vicki. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Okay, October minutes stand approved. Great. Next on our agenda, I'd like to invite Brian to present the Communications and Development Committee update.
Good evening, Chanel. I'll be speaking on behalf of Brian this evening. Today was a very long day, and so I'm catching my breath also as we head into this meeting. I would just like to name our annual fund is underway. Folks are donating to it. That's great. Last week, we had our annual fund parent committee send tailored messages to the grade levels as an additional push to drum up annual fund support. John, I know, will speak a little bit about it in his presentation. We also are gearing up for Giving Tuesday, the first Tuesday in December. And so Todd is working on a video, and we'll be able to send out some communications about that. Kat is continuing to run the annual fund donation invitation in the news and announcements on Wednesdays. So far, we have raised over $20,000. And additionally, John and I have met and discussed some other gifts that have come in and which ones would go towards the annual fund and which ones would go towards special opportunities. So he can talk more about that when he presents. Ryan did put a message in the chat there that his mother passed on Monday.
Oh,
I'm so sorry to hear that, Brian.
Coming back in town from that, and so
oh my goodness.
he is here but not talking, and that's okay.
Oh, sorry.
I talk a little bit, but not very much.
Oh,
You know me, right?
oh my.
Well, thanks for being here, Brian. I'm sorry that was not a very exciting report that I just gave, but John will tell us more when he presents, and that'll be better. Thanks, John.
Great. We're sending our condolences and thoughts with you, Brian, during this difficult time.
Hello.
Thanks for being here. I'm sorry, I'm hearing someone saying hello. Who is that? Are you picking that up also?
Sorry about that.
Okay, great. Next up, I'd like to invite Arlie, I think you're up next, to present the Central Park School for Children Executive Director update. Do you have the ability to share your screen?
Yes,
Great.
just a moment.
Awesome. I'm going to put myself on mute.
All right, hold on. I mean, maybe I can. It's a long day. I said that already. Let's see. This is not it. No. Oh gosh, I'm gonna see the whole thing. Okay, here we go. It's November. So we're still focused on the same initiatives, our All Children Thrive model, our demonstration school and our teaching and learning center, and our K-8 City Block campus. Since the October meeting, we have done a lot. We hosted our first all-school work day, and we emptied the cages again. We hosted the Hispanic Heritage Celebration, our literary festival, and a book fair. The book fair raised over $6,000, and we will use that money for all school reads in Q3. We're really excited about that. We started a food drive. We hosted a book swap for families, and those funds also went to our food drive. We kicked off the annual fund. We've continued parent committee meetings. Our 5th graders attended the 3-day trip to Sound to Sea. We finished the fall soccer season. We were undefeated, and they had a green versus white soccer game yesterday after school. We started basketball season today. Basketball tryouts started this evening. We continued long-term planning for the TLC facilities and programming. The school and foundation signed the loan. We hosted University of North Carolina Masters of Teaching students. A group of 15 students came and toured the school and spent some time in some classrooms. The professor of that group is former professor of Charlie, our upper school director from back when he was in college, and longtime friend of Central Park School for Children. We also hosted Warren Yes Charter School. That school is opening next fall, and they're located up in Warrenton, North Carolina. They came and visited us. They love our project-based approach. They are an outdoor exploratory and Paideia school. And so we'll be partnering with them in the future, we think. So they came to hang out, and they are a rural charter school. So we're hoping to have that rural urban connection. We also started planning for next year's staffing, sending out intent forms. We're continuing to work on the charter renewal process. And then last night, of course, we accepted the Preservation Durham Award. So that's a lot. And in addition, immigration officials were in town these past couple of days. So we were also just running support for families and staff in that emergency situation. So we have been busy. These are some photos from our all-school workday. We had about 20 to 25 parents and students come and clean out various spaces on both campuses, and they did some cleanup in the park as well. This was organized by our facilities parent group. It's a really great group. And ultimately, we ended up with the cages look like this.
What?
So that the slate is clean and ready for whatever we can fundraise for and make happen next. We're calling this our future art studio. The art teacher in the lower school is very excited. She loves the space because she and her spouse work in warehouses. She is currently on a little bit of a sabbatical from Central Park because she and her spouse are sculpting the tiger cubs for the Asian exhibit at the North Carolina Zoo. And so that is what they're doing. Super top secret, and I can't show you any pictures.
It's
but
not a secret anymore.
I mean, it's not a secret that they're doing it. It's a secret what they look like, and we can't show you. So this space, once we fundraise for it, and John can share a little more, we're going to put in a sprinkler system, a little bit of insulation and sheetrock, some HVAC, some cabinets, a little bit of a ramp, and then some lighting, and maybe add a lift to the Foster Street, and then we're in business and we can access this space and use it. So we're very excited about what lies ahead with that. We also hosted Hispanic Heritage Celebration. It was a wonderful, wonderful day. The weather was fantastic. Students in grades K through 6 take Spanish classes, and so each grade level presented a different costume and a different style of dance from Hispanic diaspora for our K-8 community. Some families came out. This event was coordinated by Nydia, and she's our ESL teacher, and Latinx liaison, and Martha, who's our Spanish teacher, and then some other supporting staff assisted with that. And then there's a drumming group, Batala, and they donated their performance to the group. They also practice in the big room regularly because we have an agreement with them. So that was a great day. These are the wrong pictures, but we had the literary festival and book fair. I'll swap the pictures out for that. We had our food drive and a family book swap in the TLC. Families donated funds to come and share books and swap out with each other. We're planning to host another book swap that's also a toy swap as we head towards the holiday season. And so we'll share information with everybody about that. Our 5th graders went to Sound to Sea last week for 3 days Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and they had a great time as always. These are some of our fifth graders in one of the workshop spaces. So what are we looking forward to next? Right now, this list is incomplete because today was long. Friendship Feast is next week. Day of Service is next week. A day of giving, Giving Tuesday, the week we come back from Thanksgiving break. And then we have a whole slew of events, a winter dance, a winter strings concert, and we're going to host an alumni event on December 18th. We'll have a staff gathering to close out the year on December 17th. So we're just heading into a really festive season to end out this December. And that's it. I'm sorry it was weaker than normal, but it's been a busy time.
I think it's still informative, and it was very great. Thank you for sharing and bringing Central Park to our meeting every week. So we appreciate all that's happening, because it sounds like it's a bustling time of year, and all the work that you and the team are doing to make all the students' experiences super positive. So thank you. All right. I think I will move on. So, John, are you ready to present the Central Park School for Children Foundation update?
I sure am.
Great.
See, and sharing a screen. Can you all see it now?
Yes.
All right. So, just to start again with our priority at the foundation, it's to empower children and to help them thrive through project-based, child-centered education. And our focus and main priority is doing that by supporting our highly regarded, outstanding demonstration school, Central Park School for Children, and all of its work to build, refine, and share its child-centered project-based learning through our Teaching and Learning Center. So our mission is to strengthen public education for all children at Central Park School and beyond. And our vision is to be able to do that through creating more schools where children come first and children thrive, and their communities cherish and empower our young people. And just to bring that home, a family that has been with our school for 5 years, I toured with the family this week, and their children came from other schools within the community, both Durham Public Schools, independent schools. That one of the parents has taught at the Duke School, graduate from there in the past, and just really is so grateful for what our staff, board, community, parents create at Central Park School. Just, it is really a treasure within Durham. And one of her comments is just, as we're walking through and they're sort of just really taking in the entire design and life that the new upper school has created, she says, why can't there just be more schools like Central Park School for Children? And our school is so fortunate to have that in its DNA and mission, is to share our practice. And I let her know just about how the foundation, that is one of our main priorities, and they are committed to be able to support us in the ways as room parent, as donors, and then working with the different ways that their family works with different businesses in supporting our child-centered project-based learning. And now, let's see if I can move to the next page here. So let's take a look at 5 different areas tonight. One that really look at our advancement and how we're supporting the school with new resources in many different ways. So we'll look at the annual fund, major gifts, foundation grants, governmental grants, and different advancement activities support. let's go back. So the annual fund so far, as Arlie sort of mentioned, the partnership between the school and the foundation, the school staff, parent volunteers, board, and foundation, the campaign cabinet, foundation board is essential to its growth and success. So the goal is $250,000. As Arlie mentioned, there's a total of over $20,000 that's been brought in through different donations through our Neon system. And then we looked at a total of close to $90,000 that have come in this year through major gifts. And so Arlie and I meet each week and we look at the gifts that have come in and then make determinations as to where the school's priority is, as to where those funds are best allocated. So $30,000 worth of those annual fund, or $38,000 worth of different major gifts were allocated to the annual fund. So if you look comparatively at this time, the work that the school staff, the parent committee of getting the annual fund started earlier this year has got us to a point where last year at this point we were at $5,487, and this year we're at $56,715, which that support coupled with the major gifts that are coming in that makes up 67% so far. And that's potentially could be that average, that we talk about it, that major gifts are 70% of the annual fund, have come in, and really appreciate the collaborative work and the guidance from Arlie, recognizing the priorities of what's needed as we look at both the special opportunities that we have of the art studio and the Hill Playscape, as well as the annual fund, which are the three areas for the annual fund are class wallets, or the class budgets for classroom teachers, EC teachers, different specialists, as well as the flooring in the gym. That's what you're looking at here in the upper school, and the flooring in the K-8 library. And right now there are a total of 71 different donors. 26 new donors have come in through the efforts of the appeal so far. And last year, year to date, we had a total of 20 donors at this point. So some remarkable growth so far. So a lot to be sort of really pleased with its growth so far this year. And then the continuation of our major gift support. Last year, if you remember, that a priority of cultivating major gifts from community members led to significant growth, with the annual fund. And now we have the opportunity for the first time to create special opportunities. And those special opportunities are transformative and will create new learning spaces and new programs and new supports for the Teaching and Learning Center. So so far this year, our goal is $250,000. So far this year, we've brought in $80,000 in major gifts for our special opportunities, and $70,000 of that so far, is going toward the art studio that Arlie shared is been cleaned out and is ready to be constructed once we hit that threshold, where we can begin the construction, which will hopefully be, very soon. So if you look at the progression, you can see how we've moved up toward from the last 3 years to a place now where we have just so far this year, 18 year-to-date gifts over $1,000, with a goal of over 50 gifts above $1,000. And then foundation gifts, you can see the growth over time. Last year, bringing in $85,000 in foundation grants. This year, goal of $100,000. So far right now, we have $84,000 in foundation grants that are being reviewed, and we should have answers to those in the December, January. And then Arlie and I are also looking at close to 5 different both foundations and local organizations for grant submittals between now and the end of January. So here is a little bit that gives an explanation of an exciting development since last time. As Arlie mentioned, we've closed on our refinance with Self-Help. This is a really special and unique partnership that we've created, and the structure that we've done it. I think one of the unique things for charter schools is how we've done it through it totally financing the construction on our own and then recapitalizing $1 million of the different construction costs through the refinancing. Just want to say thanks again to everyone who sort of was part of making that happen. Bob, Arlie, Joe, the whole construction team, just ensuring that we were a trusted partner for them. So, and special thanks again to Bob for all of his expertise and wisdom of creating this really healthy, sustainable refinance structure, which over the next 30 years will save us over $1.5 million just through the new structuring. It's also, and again, like I said, it's a really special collaboration that we've created with Self-Help in the refinance. Let's see. And then just to get to, our focus and particularly with the major gifts and foundations and governmental groups that we're working with, it's really looking at really genuine relationships so that fuel the passions that we have for more child-centered learning for our children and youth within our schools and community, and then finding the ways that we are purpose-driven in the outcomes that we achieve for our children and within our community. And so one way that we're doing this, just as I mentioned, is through the special opportunities, 2 areas. At this point, you can look at the art studio, which this is a rendering from Arlie, which highlights what that space is that now is clear and an open slate that can be for creativity and the imagine of our children through child-centered project-based learning, and then a space for professional learning for our outside educators that come to visit. So like I said, just in the last month and a half, we've raised close to a little over $70,000 for this project, knowing we have a budget to complete it that would upfit this area and, as explained, create a lift. So it would create greater accessibility to the second floor that we've always wanted in the last, since our inception, for access to the entire second floor. It would be $150,000. So we are close, right there at halfway to meeting that goal. So we would love to be able to meet that $150,000 goal by the end of the year, if not sort of the beginning or the middle of January. So we're continuing to support through major gifts, corporate sponsors. With the Hill Playscape, that design area, which would have slides, a water biofiltration system down one side, climbing areas along another, a garden space all along the west bank that's behind west bank of Old North Durham Park, which is behind the North Street or upper school building. We have submitted a Durham Open Spaces and Trails grant. So that was submitted last week. And that is for $59,000 for a total project cost for that for phase one of 123. And they really recommended, they came out and did a site visit a few weeks ago, and they recommended that we, look at it as a 3-year project, that we continue to improvement and continue to try to make the most of the investment that Durham Open Spaces and Trails has in trying to improve recreation for the kids and families within Durham. We're meeting this Friday with the director of Parks and Rec, the new head of planning, and the head of their foundation, along with a parent of ours, Jesse Taylor and Arlie, to look and at our master plan for the whole campus, explore our DOS grant, and so they can become aware of the Hill Playscape aspect of it, but then to look at how they could be a partner with us as a public school through what's called the Park and Recreation Trust Fund grant, which is open only to counties to apply. So we would have to have our county apply, and Parks and Rec being that conduit, and us as a public school. So we're going to be exploring that possibility. So that would go beyond the Hill Playscape, but go to the entire outdoor campus of the upper school, with the potential of how does it, in time, show a partnership and strong partnership that could lead to further growth within Old North Durham Park. And then lastly, one component that is key, and you saw it come through with close to $250,000 within the upfit of the upper school, is our in-kind donations. It's the volunteers, the sweat and muscle and mind power of all of our volunteers, and then companies and businesses that donate different services and goods. So looking ahead, just to sort of clarify everything here, the annual fund, our goal is $250,000, and we're on our way in really positive ways. Our major gifts is looking at bringing in over 50 plus major gifts above 1,000 to raise $250,000 in this first phase of major gifts for this year. Hopefully there'll be a second. And then with foundation grants, submitting over $500,000, and then bringing in, our initial goal is $100,000 to support our 6 facets of All Children Thrive and our campus capital projects, and then governmental fundings. Our goal is to secure $500,000 across federal, state, and local programs. And, that Part F was one example of one way to access support from governmental funding, as well as the DOS grant, was another example as well. And then lastly, we're looking to support faculty originated grants. Right now, we have a teacher looking at a USDA Farm to School grant. That would be an authentic continuation of growing our outdoor learning through that initiative. And then there's a program called McCarthy Dresman Teacher Developmental Grants, which is for professional development initiatives that are teacher led within our schools. So lastly, how can you help? I do want to say that the introductions that our community members and our advocates give to me to be able to connect with either grants or to individuals has a significant impact. So that I just encourage you in your daily work to just be thinking of the foundation and the resources that the school could be brought by connecting community contacts and people who you realize value what we value, and how you'd like to connect them with me, either through a email connection or through checking in with me to have a conversation about them and next steps, and then connecting with local businesses, growing sort of folks that want to have more of an increased sponsorship with the school. And then different foundations. Within your work, you may connect with different people who you really feel are mission aligned with us, either whether it be through family foundations, through community foundations, or through businesses. And then lastly, connecting with longer term sponsors that can support us. So I thank you for the help that you've given in that way, the relationships that we start, and then the involvement that we can have with different individuals, community groups, makes a huge difference in the resources that we can continue to grow as the foundation and schools support our goal to empower our children and continue to do all we can to support our inspiring teachers. So that wraps up my November foundation report. So if there are any questions or things to explore, I'm open for it.
Thank you for your much better explanation of the annual fund and how much we have in there, John. I really appreciate that. I forgot to mention that we offered tours. Tours started last week for prospective families. And so if you all know of folks that are interested in touring to see the school because maybe they want to make a donation and connect with John, they can also come on one of the school tours. We'll be touring again tomorrow at 9 a.m. in the lower school, 10:30 in the upper school. We had over 40 families last week. I thought it was 25, but then I counted it up and it was actually quite large. We've got about 22 families signed up for tomorrow. So
I had a quick question. The opportunity on the website to donate now, does that go to the foundation or where does that go?
So we've done a really good job. So Arlie and Todd have supported in updating the foundation webpage. And when you go to donate now, which would you like me to pull that up?
It's already in the chat. I dropped it in there.
Okay.
But you sure, absolutely.
you want me to screen share it, John? I just pulled it up.
Oh yeah, sure. That'd be great.
I was checking to make sure the edits were there.
So what we've been able to do for the first time is create 2 different areas that people can see where they want to support the school and the priorities the school has set this year. So there's 6 different priorities that people can really look at and see where they want to support. So the first area is 3 areas within the annual fund. So if you're really interested in supporting Class Wallet, if you really want to support the flooring in the gymnasium at the upper school or in the Kate Library, that is the area that you want to be able to support with a goal of $250,000. If your passion is leading you that you really want to be able to support in a dynamic hill playscape within the upper school, or you really want to see integrated arts and a teaching learning center supports within the elementary school, the lower school, the special projects is the area. And so when you go here now, you can click on donate now, and it will allow you to make your donation into one of those 2 buckets. And so what happens is those 2 areas go into, just for clarity, go into the foundation account, checking account, banking account, checking account, and then they are used, the funds for the annual fund are used in 25, 20, that will be used in 26, 27, and the funds that are acquired through the special opportunity will be able to be used during this year once we meet the threshold to be able to begin the construction on those projects.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Glad
You're welcome.
we're able to. get clarity. So I need to back up. I did not give an opportunity for us to vote on the year-to-date budget. So Joe, can you share a brief summary before we vote on the year-to-date budget, please?
Sure. Hopefully everybody had a chance to look at the notes that went along with the budget. This month, there was a little bit more volatility. We've had a couple of months of pretty low key deviations from our projection at the beginning of the year. This month, there was just a couple of things that there were some costs that came back that were higher. It took a little bit more work to make sure that we're appropriately balancing the budget. We're still in that funny period of the year where there's been initial funding, but the final funding per student and all the funding streams isn't yet known. And we've heard that the legislature probably won't certify that amount until January. So usually this is the time of year where we finally get student count and amount per student locked in, and we kind of know from here to the end of the year, what the income stream is. This year we're delayed a little bit till January, so we're trying to appropriately manage the budget until we get to that point where those income streams are known, and we feel like the budget kind of becomes real at that point in a lot of ways. So I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any questions about the notes or the general budget or this process in general.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Great. So if there are not any questions, can I have a motion to accept the year-to-date budget? Thank you, Bob. May I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Marcia. All in favor, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, say nay. Great. The year-to-date budget for October stand approved. Thank you. Right. So this concludes our board meeting for October. We will for November. We will not meet in December. So I will see you all in 2026.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that sounds crazy.
Hope everyone have a wonderful holiday season or winter vacation. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Was that you, Bob?
Yes, it was.
Thank you so much. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Brian. All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Thank you. Anyone opposed? Say nay. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all so much for spending
Happy
your
holidays, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
bye-bye.